The city always felt different after midnight. The noise faded. The masks slipped. People became more honest when they thought no one was watching. I was standing in my small apartment kitchen, staring at a container of cold takeout, when my phone vibrated against the counter. I didn't need to look to know something was wrong. No one important ever called me after midnight. Except her. Evelyn Carter. My boss. CEO of Carter Dynamics. The woman who could terrify senior executives twice my age with a single raised eyebrow. I wiped my hands on a towel and answered. "Daniel," she said. Her voice stopped me cold. It wasn't sharp. It wasn't commanding. It wasn't the voice that ran a billion-dollar company. It was quiet. Unsteady. "Ms. Carter?" I asked. "Is everything okay?" There was music in the background, soft jazz, muffled laughter. "A fancy event." "I shouldn't be calling you," she said quickly. "I know it's late. But I need a favor." I straightened instinctively. "Of course. What's wrong?" A pause. "I've had a few drinks," she admitted. "More than I intended. I'm at the Hope Bridge charity gala downtown. My driver had to leave for an emergency. I can't." She stopped, exhaled. "I can't drive like this." I didn't even think. "I'll come get you," I said. Another pause, longer this time. "You would do that?" "Yes," I replied. "I'm on my way." I hung up, grabbed my jacket and keys, and headed for the door. I told myself this was professional. Just an employee helping his boss. Nothing more. The Hope Bridge Gala was everything I expected: valets, polished marble steps, expensive laughter. And then I saw her. Evelyn Carter sat alone on the front steps, heels kicked off beside her, silver dress catching the city lights. Her hair, usually pulled back tight, fell freely over her shoulders. She looked small. Human. When she noticed me, her face softened into a smile I had never seen in the office. "You came," she said. I nodded, suddenly aware of my cheap jacket and worn shoes. "Of course." I offered my hand. She took it without hesitation. When she stood, she swayed slightly, her fingers tightening around mine. "Careful," I said. She laughed softly. "Guess I'm not as graceful as I pretend to be." I steadied her, keeping my grip respectful, but the closeness sent a strange tension through my chest. She smelled like champagne and something floral. Jasmine, maybe. As we walked to my car, she leaned closer. "Thank you for coming," she murmured. I didn't know who else to call. That admission hit harder than I expected. The city lights blurred past as we drove. At first, neither of us spoke. Then she sighed. "Everyone assumes I have people for everything." I glanced at her. "Don't you?" She smiled sadly, staring out the window. "I have employees. Advisors. Lawyers. But not many people." I didn't respond. I didn't need to. She continued, her voice softer. "Do you know what it's like to never be allowed to mess up?" "Yes," I said before thinking. "In smaller ways." She looked at me then, really looked at me. "You're different at work," she said. "You don't try to impress me." "I just try to do my job," I replied. "That's rare," she said quietly. Her penthouse overlooked the river. Glass walls. Clean lines. Everything perfectly in place. It felt more like a showroom than a home. "Water," I said, guiding her inside. "Sit down." She obeyed without argument, watching me from the couch as I filled a glass. "You take care of people naturally," she said. I handed her the water. "Someone should." She sipped, then rested her head back. Daniel, she said slowly, do you ever feel invisible? I hesitated. Sometimes. She nodded. Me too. The silence that followed felt heavy, but not uncomfortable. Her eyes fluttered as exhaustion caught up with her. I trust you, she murmured. That scared me more than anything. Let's get you to bed, I said gently. I helped her stand, careful, controlled. I laid her on the bed fully clothed, placed a blanket over her, and turned away. I'll sleep on the couch, I said. She smiled faintly. You're a good man, Daniel. I didn't reply. Because if I did, I might not leave the room. Sunlight woke me. The city outside had come back to life. Footsteps approached. Daniel? I sat up. Evelyn stood there, wrapped in a robe, hair damp from a shower, her expression uncertain. Last night, she said carefully. Nothing happened, right? I met her eyes. Nothing, I said. You were safe. Relief crossed her face. Then something else. Something unspoken. Monday morning. Then it was gone. Please bring me the quarterly projections at 9, she said. Yes, ma'am. As I walked to my desk, I wondered if the woman from last night had been a dream. At exactly 9, I stepped into her office. She was standing by the window, city spread out beneath her like a chessboard. Close the door, she said. My pulse jumped. I did as instructed. She turned, her expression unreadable. Thank you, she said quietly. For last night. It was the right thing to do, I replied. She studied me for a moment. You didn't tell anyone? No. A breath left her chest, slow and controlled. Good, she said. I value discretion. I value trust, I said before thinking. Her lips parted slightly. Then we agree, she said. By Wednesday, the whispers started. Nothing direct. Just looks. Lingering pauses when I entered rooms. A coworker leaning too close. You've been busy upstairs lately. I laughed it off. But when I passed the conference room and saw Evelyn mid-presentation, sharp, confident, untouchable, I realized something dangerous. People didn't need evidence. They only needed imagination. Be careful. The words came from Marcus, a senior manager who had been with the company longer than anyone. Careful of what? I asked. He glanced toward Evelyn's office. Being noticed. I frowned. I just do my job. That's what makes it worse, he said. People notice things that don't fit the pattern. That night, I lay awake wondering if helping her had changed my career forever. It happened during a late meeting. The board pushed harder than usual. Numbers. Deadlines. Pressure. When the room finally emptied, Evelyn stayed seated. Daniel, she said softly. I stopped. You didn't have to stay, she added. I wanted to, I replied. She looked up at me, exhaustion slipping through the cracks. You make this easier, she admitted. That single sentence carried more weight than any compliment I'd ever received. Her office door closed behind me, and the weight of the room pressed down. Evelyn sat behind her desk, fingers laced, eyes sharp. Daniel, she began. Do you realize what's happening out there? I nodded. Rumors. She exhaled. Not just rumors. People are watching everything. They think. She didn't finish. I know, I said softly. And I don't care what they think. I care about the truth. Her eyes searched mine. Vulnerability and strength intertwined. Later that night, she called again. We met at a quiet riverside cafe, away from prying eyes. She stirred her coffee silently. Then she looked up. Daniel, I leaned forward. You don't have to say anything you're not ready for. I'm tired of pretending, she admitted. Of being someone I'm not. And I've been scared to feel something real. I reached for her hand. You can feel it. I'm here. Her lips quivered. I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to hurt anyone. You won't. I won't let that happen. The office became unbearable. Whispers followed us. Board meetings became tests of will. And yet, through it all, we found stolen moments. Lunch in the park. Late-night emails with jokes hidden in data spreadsheets. Shared coffee that lasted longer than it should. Every small gesture cemented a bond no rumor could break. The charity gala returned, a year later. Same city lights. Same crowded rooms. Except this time, she walked in hand with me. Her smile was real. Fearless. Open. In front of everyone, she whispered, this time, nothing is hidden. I squeezed her hand. And everything is worth it. The city lights reflected in her eyes, and for the first time, we didn't have to hide. Life after that was not perfect. Boardroom challenges remained. Public scrutiny lingered. But the trust, the shared moments, the laughter, it all made the risk worth it. We navigated together. Slowly, carefully. Always honestly. And in the quiet moments, when the city slept and the penthouse was ours alone, we knew we had chosen right.